Phoenix Mercury star Brittany Griner has been in a Russian prison for more than 100 days, but she hasn't been forgotten by the NBA. Some of the players on the Boston Celtics are wearing practice T-shirts that read, "We are BG," to show support and demand that she be released. Griner is being held on drug charges. Game 2 of the NBA Finals is tonight. The nation's biggest baby formula maker is back up and running again, but it could be weeks before supplies are back on store shelves. Alexis McAdams has more.
Abbott Nutrition, the makers of one of the nation's biggest brands of baby formula, restarting operations Saturday at its Michigan plant, the largest such factory in the U.S. This comes months after it was forced to shut down due to contamination concerns. Abbott saying in a statement, "We'll ramp up production as quickly as we can while meeting all requirements. We're committed to safety and equality, and we'll do everything we can to re-earn the trust of parents, caregivers, and healthcare providers that they've placed in us for 130 years." The reopening comes as the nationwide shortage is growing more dire every day for parents of young kids.
There are moms that are desperate. I know just multiple parents that are literally begging, "Please, I need one can."
This shortage is now expected to drag on into summer. Abbott says it will prioritize specialty formula for kids with allergies or medical conditions. Dwindling supply on store shelves has forced the Biden administration to look for alternatives, including using the military to deliver shipments of new formula from overseas manufacturers. Flights coming in next week are expected to bring more than 8 million bottles worth, less than a fifth of how much is consumed on an average each week just in the U.S.
We're talking about the sole source of nutrition for arguably our most vulnerable consumer. And so from that perspective, a crisis like this in the biggest consumer economy in the world should never happen.
The FDA says Abbott's products will undergo enhanced testing before they're released. The first batch is expected to reach consumers later this month. In New York, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
The Supreme Court is back in session tomorrow with more than 30 big decisions on the docket, including abortion rights case, Dobbs versus Jackson's Women's Health. A draft opinion by Justice Alito was leaked last month, creating a firestorm. Many see it as an indication that nationwide access to abortion is about to be undone. The opinion is expected to be published sometime this month, and the investigation into the leak is ongoing. Well, you may not know her, but you have definitely seen her before. Ann Turner Cook, the original Gerber baby, has died. She was 5 years old when a neighbor drew out that now famous sketch that made her the original Gerber baby. She grew up to be an English teacher in Florida, and her family says after retiring, she continued her work as a mystery writer and remained an avid reader.
You know, she just had a very soft, gentle way about her. She instilled the love of reading in me more than any teacher before her or any professor after her.
It was just wonderful to have a parent at that age and still be so engaged in everything. It was never a chore to visit her and spend time with her.
Well, Cook once said, "There's nothing nicer than being a symbol for babies." She was 95 years old. A major hotel chain is cutting business ties with Russia. Marriott International said in a statement that restrictions placed on Russia by the U.S., UK, and EU have made it impossible to operate there. Marriott closed its Moscow office in March and paused opening new hotels there. Employees are being moved to other locations. And a cheese recall to tell you about tonight. 2,800 pounds of various cheeses have been recalled over possible listeria contamination. Comes out of the Paris Brothers plant in Kansas City, Missouri. There are several brands impacted. Listeria affects about 1,600 people a year and can be fatal. Symptoms include headaches, fever, and nausea. Up next, the Queen's Platinum Jubilee is coming to an end in London, and the Queen herself makes a couple of appearances for the big finish, sort of.